It's a Любов Stupchuk Jazz Music Blog. We are at Jazz Bass in Lviv, and today we have a great opportunity because next of me, a wonderful person, well-known musician, a teacher, improvisator, multi-instrumentalist, Bob Stoloff. Good evening.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you for a great master classes. It was amazing. We take a lot of interesting information, and so first of all, I know that it's the first time in Lviv, yes?
That's right.
That's why I want to start with our city, a few words. What are you thinking about Lviv? Do you discover for yourself?
I enjoy it very much. I think we only walked around a little bit, but it's very, very nice. It reminds me of maybe where my grandfather came from, because my grandfather's from Ukraine somewhere, but we don't know, not sure where. So when I walk around, I think, well, maybe he lived here, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a very nice city.
So maybe you know something in Ukrainian language?
Tak.
Oh, great, it's a great start. So we are back here for Jazz Bass, and of course master classes we expected for. A few words about how you combine and build these master classes. I know it was a two-part.
Yes. There are so many things that I teach that I try to offer classes that I think will be most helpful to singers. I think most important is teaching singers how to communicate with instrumentalists, because most of the training that singers get fall a little bit short of what the instrumentalists know. So there's usually a very big divide between the players and the singers. They're all musicians, but many players think that singers are not musicians, but that's not true. It's just that the training is different. So a long time ago I came up with a vocabulary, a way of communicating with drummers, bass players, guitar players, piano players, so that the singer will be respected and know what they're doing, and also be able to interpret songs in different ways and be able to count them off, to conduct the band, to be a real strong leader of the band. And this takes a lot of practice, and even professionals that I teach around the world don't really have that kind of training. It's something that's been missing, I think, for a long time. But I'm hoping that I make, to bridge this gap, I hope that I bring the two worlds together of the instrumentalist and the singer. And that's really the two things I was doing today. That was one. The other was improvising, having the language to scat sing. And this, of course, is a huge subject. Beginning with Louis Armstrong and coming down to Bobby McFerrin. There's so many different styles. But I like to teach a singer's basic scat vocabulary, and we got to do that in the first section today. So.
Yeah, you have your vocal institute. It's a great t-shirt.
Yes, yeah, really. It's a great drawing.
Maybe when was that moment that you realized that you want to share your knowledges? Maybe it was somebody who will come and say, "How do you do that?"
Yeah, as a matter of fact. And when somebody asked me that, I said, I really don't know. And then I thought about it. I said, well, I play trumpet so I know how to double tongue and triple tongue, and I play drums, so I know all the rudiments and all the rhythms. And I said, that's how I know, but also that I listened, And the reason I wanted to bring this to singers, when I went to Berkeley, the voice department only had 2 courses. So it was wide open, and I said, wow, I'd really like to make this new course for singers so that they understand what's going on. So there was a great opportunity, and that's when I realized, when the singers were coming in with no knowledge, I said, we really need some courses at Berkeley to teach these people, what's going on. And that was the first moment I realized there was such a difference in training. I didn't realize, because all my training was so intense, vocal training is very different, so I tried to bring it together.
Not every instrumentalist singing. It's a special thing, yeah, that you are singing and skating.
Yes.
This moment where it started, because we are looking that sometimes pianists singing, yes, but not drums, but not drummers.
Singing melodically, you mean?
Yeah.
So what your question is?
I want to know when you're starting singing.
When I studied?
Yes.
I never studied singing, actually. It came naturally to me. I was playing the drums once, and I was going to...
It's like at the beginning, yeah?
At the beginning, and I was going... And I started to sing what I was playing. And then I started to go, and I realized, oh my God. And then when I played the trumpet, I was going, and I started to sing this instead. And I said, that's where I'm getting all my information from. And also from conductors, because when you're in a band, a concert band or an orchestra, the conductors stop and they say, trumpets, let me hear, and they're scat singing, you know. So I heard
every
my
time,
teachers,
yes.
they're scatting. It's not jazz, but they're using syllables. So I thought, wow, this is a great idea, is to use syllables for the instrument. And that's when I started to do it. But I never took any voice lessons.
Okay, so it was natural.
So it's very natural, yeah.
It's like a conclusion that if you want to be great in sketch, you need to know how it makes drums, how it makes saxophone, yeah?
Or you just use your ears, you know. Like Ella Fitzgerald, I don't think she played, maybe she played some piano, I don't know. But she had these like big ears, and she sang with big bands, and she absorbed, she listened, and she really got the music. But I think if you're going to college and training, you know, going to school and training for musicianship skills, theory, harmony, you know, all these things, the scales, it's very important, I think, to play at least 1, 2, or 3 instruments as part of your training, if you're in school, working to be a musician.
And if you word about these master classes in Lviv, I mean, maybe a lot of mistakes were here listening to, yes, maybe some points, what to do Ukrainian musician, not in that direction we need about these master classes. I mean, what you can advise to Ukrainian musician after these master classes, maybe from that mistake they do.
It's the same wherever I go.
Yeah.
I tell them, try to understand what we're doing, set a goal, what you want to do, go home and practice, but make sure you know how to practice. So if you have any question about what we did today, write to me. I always invite my students, write to me, dweebop1 at gmail.com, or, you know, and I get letters from my students. They say, can you help me with this? And they'll send me a video maybe, or a CD. I'm making a CD. What's wrong with my scatting? And I will write back and tell them, you should do this, more space, more phrasing, more syllables, da-da-da. Some of them study with me, some of them I just give good advice. But the important thing is to listen and set a goal, you know, and come up with a practice regimen, like a system. Every day you're going to do warm up, then you're going to do this scat, and then you're going to play piano, and then you study harmony, and make sure you have a nice schedule of studying. And if you have questions, ask your teacher or write to me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.